Hey guys, Sam here. Today we'll be talking about when we push God away. The story we'll be talking about today comes from the book of 1 Samuel chapter 5. To give you a little background, the Israelites were at war with the Philistines. The Philistines beat the Israelites, and after the battle, they stole the Ark of God and brought it back to their land. And that's where we'll pick up from today, from 1 Samuel chapter 5. It says, Then the Philistines took the Ark of God and brought it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. When the Philistines took the Ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon, which was their god or their idol. And when the people of Ashdod arose early in the morning, there was Dagon fallen on its face to the earth, before the Ark of the Lord. So they took Dagon and set it in its place again. And when they arose early the next morning, there was Dagon fallen on its face to the ground before the Ark of the Lord. The head of Dagon and both the palms of its hands were broken off on the threshold. Only Dagon's torso was left of it. Therefore neither the priests of Dagon, nor any who come into Dagon's house, tread on this threshold of Dagon in Ashdod until this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy on the people of Ashdod, and he ravaged them and struck them with tumors, both Ashdod and its territory. And when the men of Ashdod saw how it was, they said, The ark of the God of Israel must not remain with us, for his hand is harsh towards us, and Dagon, our God. So after this, they decided to move the ark of God to another city. They brought it to 2 more cities before returning it to Israel. And that's where we'll pick up today. Once this Ark of God was brought in, it represents the presence of God in the Old Testament. Wherever this was, the presence of God was. So they stole it from the Israelites, brought it to their city, and went from city to city because of everything that had happened later when it struck the people with tumors and it made them sick. And every city they brought it to, it was affecting the people. And then they ended up bringing it back to the house of Israel. John Chrysostom says, If you believe that the place is holy because of the law and the books of the prophets that are in there, then it is fine for you to believe that the idols and the temple of the idols themselves are holy. Now, obviously, there are things that are holy. But the way we're looking at it here is not that we bring the Ark of God and its magic and expect it to fix everything that's there, right? We don't bring it in and expect it to change my house. No, I'm bringing the presence of God into my life to transform me so that I may change my house. It's not some sort of magic wand or a lamp, like the lamp in Aladdin that just brings well wishes. No, it's meant to transform us. The presence of God is meant to transform us, that anywhere we go, we are able to bring that transformation to others. Bringing back to the story, once they brought the Ark of God into their house, things happened in their house, right? And sometimes we can see this with God. When we bring God into our house, or a light, or a mirror, essentially, right? Or the Word of God, it reflects things that are imperfect in us, or the things that need change. So the wise person would look at this reflection and try to take out the things that are hurting the image of God, which is us. Here they did the opposite. The Ark of God was brought in, and it shook things up a bit. Even literally, it made their God fall. And what did they do? You would expect that the right thing to do is to leave the presence of God there and allow it to do its work in changing us, to get rid of our Dagon, to get rid of whatever we're worshiping, and to cleanse our temple, to cleanse us, and in turn we would cleanse our temple, our house, our workplaces, our friends, our families, our relationships. whatever it may be. But they did the opposite. They came, they saw some change, and what did they say? They said, it's affecting our city and Dagon, our god. You know what that's like today? That's like saying, yeah, I want to get close to God, but it's affecting my money. It's affecting my personal life. It's coming into my fun time. You know, there's church time on Sunday morning, but that's all I want. I don't want it to affect my Monday night, or my Friday night, or my weekend, or my vacation. When is the last time some people use maybe their only week or two of vacation for something for church, whether it be for a mission trip, or for Holy Week, or whatever it may be. But here, the Ark of God was brought in, and it did its work, in that they noticed there was change, but the next step, they failed. And they just pushed the Ark of God out of their life, out of their temple, away from their God. And they brought it to one more city and another city. And that's really where I wanted to dwell on, to understand how we react to God doing something in our life. God will not force us to do anything. The closer we get to Him, like we said earlier, like a mirror or like a light, and we learn more about ourselves. And the next step is really up to us. Do we take God and see that He changed things in my life? He's kind of messing with my relationships, messing with my friendships. I have plans Friday night. I have, things to do. So I don't want it to affect me that much. So I push God away. Or are we learning from it and it's bringing light to all these other things that were bringing me far from Him? And now those things are what I have to push away. The right thing here for them to do would to realize that it's Dagon that they need to put out of the temple and not God. I pray that we can see God moving in our life and God using us, and then when we see the difference, we're able to push away our Dagons. Whatever is an idol for us, whatever is hindering us in our temple, in our house, in our environments, that when God comes in or we're getting closer to seeing our flaws, that we, at that pivotal point, we push those Dagons away and we let God transform us so that we can transform those around us. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you peace.